Okay, good morning, everybody, or whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. So now we're moving on to Perek Tevav, to chapter 15 in Ma'amar Hechaltzu. And we've been talking about the fact that whether a person has a kind of fundamental modality of serving Hashem with joy or a fundamental modality of serving Hashem with humility, of course, or a combination of those two, that in fact, those two ways of serving Hashem, even though from a kind of superficial point of view, they're extremely admirable and, I don't know, wonderful, impressive, I don't know the terms to use, but positive, but they can be very tainted by a sense of self, a sense of yeshut, a sense of ego. And that is when a person serves Hashem out of love, out of joy, that it could actually be flowing from a sense of kind of a spiritual hedonism, as we discussed, or whether you serve Hashem out of shiflut, out of humility, that also can be a kind of distorted ego thing where, wow, look how great I am, that I actually hate myself. Isn't that amazing? What a tremendously high spiritual level. Right, so there's this like that I think of myself as a nothing, and look, isn't that great, amazing? And you get this sort of like what's the opposite? Sadistic, but towards yourself. What's the word in English? Masochistic, like sort of this kind of weird masochistic pleasure out of beating yourself up. So that's all flowing from all ego issues, distorted ego issues, except for masquerading, expressing themselves in pious garb. So that is not healthy. Did I say that loud enough? Okay, so now we're moving on to Tetvav.
So Rabbi,
yeah.
I think one of the first.
Just speak loud, okay?
I think it's one of the first issue that sometimes I'll be davening, and I'll find myself thinking, I'm really feeling connected. But then as I'm saying, I'm really feeling connected. Then there's the yesh. So how do you get around that?
Yeah. Okay. So this is
I'm really connecting with Hashem, but then I usually will say it shouldn't be a yesh, but I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll talk more about it, but the bottom line is that in order, I think we mentioned this yesterday, that these are extremely lofty and high goals here, because wouldn't it be nice if we actually did all the things we're supposed to do out of even a tainted love and awe of God? Is like, whoa, that would be a good start, right? Right, exactly. So, but of course, this is striving for real purity. So, don't put it this way. I'll give you a half a pat on the back, or give yourself a half a pat on the back for a good start. But the ultimate issue or rectification, as he describes, the author describes, the Rebbe Rashab, the fifth Lubavitcher Rebbe, is by spending more time thinking about being a drop of water in the divine ocean. That is the answer. Yeah. That is the technique for feeling less of your own being and more of being subsumed within Hashem, and therefore that the service of Hashem, even though there obviously is a certain pleasure, am I allowed to use that word, of feeling connected, as you said, Larry, but it's not quite the same as feed me, feed me, feed me. It's interesting. I just saw, I don't want to say too much because I'll be giving away some secrets from what we're going to learn next week in the Wednesday night class. Rav Kook has this amazing analysis where he talks about, I don't want to say too much because then you won't come to the shiur. So he talks about when you make a bracha over something, that a lot of things have a before bracha and an after bracha. Okay? Like when we eat bread. So we say Hamotz Lechem Haaretz, right, before we eat the bread. And after we're done, we say Birkat HaMazon, we bench. So the Rav Kook says an amazing thing. that those two brachot are actually over two separate things, right? There's the pleasure of the act of eating, right? And that deserves a feeling of gratitude to Hashem, right? And then there is the recognition of the sustenance that one gets from the food, that actually you live from that. But those are very different things, right? There's the kind of the pleasure, wow, this is a really good Elisheva's cooking, man. I'm enjoying this. This is good, right? And then there's something separate. That is, wow, I'm healthy. This gives me the energy to be able to do what I need to do during the day. Those are two separate things. You make two separate brachot. So the fact that a person feels a certain amount of pleasure, I'm kind of making a comparison analogy in, let's say, davening. So, okay, that's okay. And it's legitimate, and there's something to feel grateful for and to relish in. But there's another element, which is the kind of the nourishment, in this case of davening, the fact that you're serving Hashem, you're Oved Hashem. That's the kind of the main thing. There's always like Ikar and Tafel, the main part, and Rav Kook has this whole amazing analysis we're going to learn next Wednesday about what's the main thing and what's the minor thing. So that's why it's reflected in halacha. Don't listen, Larry. Already was planning coming on Wednesday night, but just let me just finish the thought. I'm sorry that the Torah always has the mitzvah concerning the main thing, and the rabbis put in the mitzvah concerning the secondary thing. So when it comes to eating, the commandment of the Torah is you should eat, be satiated. Thank God, it's afterwards, because the main thing of eating is it's fuel. It's the thing which allows you to be able to function. The fact you also get pleasure from it, that's a secondary thing. So, and that's why the mitzvah from the Torah is the after bracha. The mitzvah from the rabbis is the before bracha on the two aspects. So just to make an analogy perhaps here, that the fact that during davening, there's a kind of a geschmack, there's a sweetness to it, and you feel connected. So there's a legitimacy to that, but that's secondary to the fact that, you know what, I want to be a servant of Hashem. Yeah. Not for selfish purposes, not because I need to quench my spiritual thirst, not because it feels good. It happens to feel good, but that's not my drive. It's not my main thing. There's ikar, tafel, there's main and secondary. So the fact that Hashem, and I feel good in the presence of my Father in heaven, right down here on earth, though. That's a legitimate. So, but to keep the proportion straight, we work on that by the contemplation of being a drop of water in the divine ocean. That's the way one does it before dawn. Just spend a minute, just something, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you're able to do, to think about being that drop of water in the divine ocean, and the one's ultimate nothingness, and Hashem is all. Einod milvado, there's nothing other than Hashem. Yes, Elisha.
Okay, two things. First of all, I've been teaching about we're internal to God, not external to God, and I explain that. Okay. The other thing is that it says in the Pirkei Avot, learn the Torah, turn it and turn it and turn it again. So even if he hears it 106 times.
Thank you. I needed that.
It's okay.
I have this thing as a teacher. I don't know why. I always feel guilty if I say the same thing twice, or I'm going to say something now that I'm going to say tomorrow. I feel like I'm boring people. I'm using up their time for nothing. I have to go talk to my therapist, Larry, over there. Why does that bother me so much? I'm afraid of taking people's time. Okay.
I just want to add that.
Yeah, sure.
It's one of the requirements of Shliach Tzibur to help people feel connected so that they can raise their
100%. Yes, so that's a very good point you're making, because in other words, your point is that the legitimacy of feeling connected, the legitimacy of the sweetness. But you see what happens with all due respect, maybe not so much respect, to New Age Judaism and all that kind of stuff. See, that's all thirsty. Feed me, feed me, feed me.
It's because we're in the
but there's no avdut. I just want to serve, right?
Because we're in the me generation.
We're narcissistic, feed me, hedonistic generation, 100%. Dr. Spock ruined us all.
Did he?
Okay, I don't know.
Between Dr. Spock and Mr. Spock.
Right, between the two. I'll take Mr. Spock, actually. Okay, let's start the next parak. Okay, beautiful. Thank you for your input, and you're an inspiration for me and for the millions of listeners out there in digital land. You know, when a person is, as we discussed before, when things flow too much from ego, it tends to lead to, as we talked before, you're taking up my airspace. Right? It's very hard to love another person when there's too much sense of yesh, of my being substance. So, but now he says something amazing. There are actually, jealousy, that can be a good thing. Okay, yeah. So that's what I love about this. Everything's in proportion, everything's in context. You know, jealousy can be a good thing. We're about to find out how. There's an expression that the jealousy of Sofrim, of Torah scholars, increases wisdom. Okay, the jealousy of Torah scholars increases wisdom. So that's something positive about jealousy. So now we're going to find out, but what does that really mean? There's a medrash that talks about this idea when it says Rachel was jealous of her sister. Okay, you know, we can't even imagine what these people were like, Rachel, Leah. You know, sometimes people read the stories in the Torah, they make it into like a little story written by, I don't know, some contemporary author, and like making these people sound like, you know, they sit next to you at shul. These are giants. Yeah. And when the Torah talks about jealousy, it's not the kind of jealousy that we're talking about. It's a jealousy which is on a sublime level. So when it says that Rachel was jealous of her sister, so the Medrash says that shekin ata b'ma'asim atovim, that there was a jealousy of her good deeds. That is, it's not jealousy. I hate you. You're taking up my airspace. You're low life. Everybody thinks you're something. I know you're a nothing. Okay, no, it's not like that. So that there, as the pasuk says, that in Proverbs, that your heart should not be jealous over sin, but over the fear of God. You know, oh, look at that Jaguar he's got.
Yeah, right.
Or whatever, you know, look at that big house, that money, all the money, you know. But to be jealous over their, oh man, I wish I could daven like that person. I wish I could, like the way everybody's done and they're still davening in a corner. Man, that kind of jealousy is a mitzvah. When a person is jealous because they want that wisdom, they want that fear of God, right? They want that love of God. And you look at another person and you say, man, I wish I had that level of being a servant of Hashem. So that's when we feel this a sublime jealousy, if we could use such a term, of somebody who has wisdom and good deeds. It's really good. You know why? Because it motivates us. Like when we look at somebody, you know, I'm going to name names. Is that okay? I'm going to name names. I'm telling you, I really feel this deep in my heart. Really, it's like, and I actually feel everybody in this room jealous, but I don't want to embarrass you in front of you. So I'll take somebody who's not here. So Eric Weiss.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. You know, what a beautiful soul. He's always davening. Everybody's done. He's still here. And, you know, I think there's some people that they're still davening because they want people to notice. Like, look at me. I'm on such a high spiritual level. I'm still davening. Anybody who knows Eric, mamash, that is the farthest thing. He's such a humble person. It's just, he really wants to say the word. He wants to connect, right? And so everybody's done and he's still davening. He probably in his mind, he's thinking, oh, I'm bothering everybody. I'm still here, you know. But so I look at that and I say, I'm taking off my rabbi title. I'm going to give it to you. You're my rabbi, Eric. You're my rabbi. Well, and, you know, so that's a beautiful thing to feel that kind of kina. And you know what's interesting about this is that what's wrong with kina, with jealousy, is that Jealousy is really a kind of hostility. But when we say kinat sofrim tarbei chokhmah, when we talk about good jealousy, holy jealousy, it's interesting. It's not a jealousy which expresses itself in hostility. It's a jealousy in which you actually feel love. It's coming from a different place altogether. This is why you have to be so careful, because you see the word jealousy, and you see things in the Gemara that say things positive about jealousy. So you think like kinat sofrim, jealousy of Torah scholars. So you think that's weird. I guess jealousy is okay sometimes. Wait a second. It's the same word, different thing altogether. It's flowing from love. It's expressing itself in love, and it's an admiration which motivates us to grow. Yes, sir. Speak real loud.
I was thinking that the Torah talks about Hashem being jealous, and I'm sure that means you're totally.
Ooh. So I once gave a whole shiur on this. Maybe I'll give it on Shavuot. Thank you for that idea. That can mean something that I saw an unbelievable explanation. See, again, it's the same idea. Just because it's the word jealous doesn't mean it means what you think it means. When, you know, the word kina, so I saw an unbelievable explanation that the Netziv explained that the word kina comes from the word koneh, to acquire, to own, to make. When it says that Hashem is, he's mekaneh, it means Hashem is saying, you know what? I made you. I made you. You're mine. Not that I'm jealous. It's that don't waste your time with other gods, small g, O-D-S, right? Because they can't help you. They didn't make you. They didn't make nothing, because it's a mirage, it's a facade, it's a joke. I am the one who made you. I'm Mekaneh. I'm trying to tell you for your own good. Turn to me, because I can make a difference in your life. Don't waste your time with worshiping money. It won't help you. It'll make you very unhappy, as a matter of fact. Let's learn just a little bit more. So by this kind of jealousy, so it influences the person, so they'll strive more in this direction. This is the type of jealousy that comes from a very deep and good place in the heart. And the jealousy then reveals and brings into takes these hidden aspects of the soul and motivates you to express them in actuality, and elevates them on a very high level when we feel this kind of holy jealousy. So we'll have to pause here, and you know what, I'll make a note. So remember where we got. You're most welcome. You made my day, everybody. Thank you. And we will continue Bezrat Hashem on Tuesday. And just remember, after Shavuos, 4 days a week, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 8 days. There are 8 days in a week.